Welcome to the show. We're fucking live. Welcome to the show, everybody. Another episode of Guitar Practice here.
Welcome.
What have we been working on? We have been still working on Civil War by Guns N' Roses. It's haven't had a lot of time to practice. It is a pretty difficult song to learn, especially with my skill set and my buddies here.
Yeah, it's been a grind, but got a lot of other stuff going on too. So
yeah, we have real jobs.
Yeah,
we don't get paid. We don't have any sponsors. We don't have any money.
Basically,
we're not single. And we're straight, so you know what that means.
Practice when you can, I guess.
Yeah, practice when you can. That's really it.
Honestly.
So yeah, let me tune up real quick, and we will give it a fucking go.
So, in the little bit of time that I have had to practice, I practiced a little bit of this song, but really, I'm still real new, so I'm trying to learn kind of the basics still, The song is almost like a break from the basics for me personally. Just gives me something different to think about, I guess, right? But I'm trying just to work on understanding the fretboard a little bit more. So maybe one day I can play a super sick riff like that.
That's all tabs, though.
Well,
get out. What are you doing
whatever
here?
then, man.
Don't get. Get.
Had our best cheerleaders come in here with us. The dogs.
Them boys, dude. They like being involved, but they're loud.
Man, I don't understand why every artist didn't just play in the same tuning.
Yeah, the same
I
fucking
do,
tuning.
but, yeah.
They don't make it easy, but back in that time frame, especially Guns N' Roses and Motley Crue and all those guys, Metallica, even Slayer, dropping down at half step was like a fuck you to the man almost.
Right.
It was lower and heavier,
Yeah.
And now we got people with 8 strings, and it's like a bass and a guitar combined, and that's cool if that's what you like, But that's how they tuned back then, and so in order for accuracy's sake, we have to do that. My super overdrive pedal is fucking up pretty bad. Sounds good right now, so we're gonna rip it.
Great.
Go ahead and start with the arpeggios that you know. We'll start with the arpeggios and we'll pause, and then I'll show you because it goes from the arpeggios to the regular chord set to the bridge that I was talking about earlier off not recording.
Yeah.
So I'll show you that. That's pretty easy. It's just an A chord that moves up. And then it goes into the solo. And while I do the solo, I can only do the first part, but while I'm doing the solo, you're going to return not to the arpeggios, but to the chord set. The chord set's really easy. It's just 2 bars of E. But instead of playing, you're on play real quick. What kind of sound are you making? Yeah, we'll do like the full open chords with that. I think it sounds good. Because if you're trying to you gotta have a little bit of a distortion if you're kind of chugging a little bit. So we'll just do the regular open chords. Start with the arpeggios. Whenever.
Well, hold up.
Loosey goosey, dog. Have some more beer.
Practice. Yeah. Let's take a drink, and then we'll get into the actual arpeggio.
The more relaxed you are, the better you are at guitar. Why? I don't know. But it is true. So right there, we're gonna shorten this because nobody's singing. Right there, just play an A.
So do I do that arpeggio progression twice or no?
Yeah, we can do it twice. That's fine. So after that arpeggio progression, you're gonna hear the song. It's almost like a mini bridge, right? So I'll finish the. And then technically the arpeggio changes. You'll learn that later.
And then I go to here.
We'll just go to A. I'll say E, then G, then D. Yeah. And then it goes to that bridge part, which I'm going to show you, which is literally just an A. So instead of playing the full A, what I'm doing is splitting that chord in half almost. So I'm playing it. See how I'm splitting? Just look at these 3 strings.
So you're doing. Is that? Would that be?
So I'm bouncing. I'm bouncing on the A string. And that's just a little slide. Yeah, exactly like that. So at that point, you'll go back to the E minor, the G, and the D, the regular chord set, while I'm doing the solo.
Okay, so I only do that one time.
Yeah, it's just that single bridge, so it'll sound like this, right? So you start with the E minor. And then I go to the solo. Right after the first solo
You almost
bridge.
just ripped that. I've seen it.
I want to do it. It's a good solo. It's not super hard once you learn the timing. It's not any crazy thing. You can play it, you know. It took me a while to memorize. But do you want to start from the arpeggios? Or do you want to start from the chords?
We can just start at the chords. That's easy.
All right.
I still don't really understand the palm mute thing. Like it doesn't to make the chords sound good.
So what I'm doing is laying the meat of my hand. Pretty much. Here's your bridge. Move it just up a little bit. Like you'll feel the screws on the saddles. See that? That's it. Mine just sounds different because I'm using. Yeah, that's a palm mute. You just gotta do it a lot. You'll feel like the thump. You'll feel it work itself in eventually, right? Yeah, and you'll. Oh, okay, here's a perfect example, right? So you know those foot pedals on a piano? You ever played a piano?
Nope.
No?
Never.
Damn. Okay. So you can hit a piano key, and on the left pedal is a sustain pedal, right?
Okay.
So inside a piano, it's literally a giant guitar, but instead of plucking the string, it hits it with a little hammer, right? Yeah, that's what, when you push the key, it hits it with a hammer. Like a bassist, almost.
Yeah.
You know? So the left pedal is the sustain pedal, and you can just hit a key and it'll just sustain that note. The middle pedal is the mute pedal, right? So no matter how long you hold that key, it'll go ding. You know what I mean? It's the same principle. You're using your palm to mute.
So you're using it as that pedal.
Exactly. You're using it so that you can hear the notes, but they don't ring out with sustain. You'll get it tuned in.
Something wrong?
I don't know. Tune up a little bit. There it is.
Yeah, I was super not in tune.
That's normal, bro. You know, Eddie Van Halen actually...
Oh, shut up. Get out of this house, dude.
Eddie Van Halen actually never played in tune.
Don't go into the high dollar room at Guitar Center.
If you go into the high dollar room at the Guitar Center, you may have nerds swarm you and tell you about Eddie Van Halen and a bunch of history that is cool, but unrequired at that moment in time.
Well, they feel like they lived with him, and it doesn't make sense to me. You know, I'm usually just there looking for something cheap to buy or looking at something more expensive than I can afford to fuck with, you know?
Yeah, it's like loving guns and going to a museum.
Dude, for real, yeah. Like, I just go in there to find deals or find cool shit that I really can't afford.
Hell yeah. All right, let's start. Just join me in the chords, and then you can attempt the bridge. At the end of the bridge, you go back to the chords. I'll try to do the solo. Cool?
Okay.
All right.
How long does the chord progression go?
I don't know. Let's just do it twice and then hit the bridge.
Okay.
So we're going to start pretty much... Restart.
Like, we'll do so quiet.
We'll do 2 bars of the A, that intro A, that mini bridge I was talking to you about, that separates the arpeggios from the chord set. You kind of feel the rhythm of the song, though, right?
I feel the rhythm of it. Yeah, I'm just.
That bridge is a little tricky, especially if you're not used to like chugging or splitting chords, because you're kind of doing both at the same time. But yeah, that's what we've been working on. Make sure you keep working on your songs and expanding your musical palette and talents. It doesn't take anybody special to do this.
Yeah. All right. We're gonna put in a new segment here.
Yeah. Okay. So last episode, if you listened to it, which is only 7 of you, believe it or not.
So basically, go listen to it. What do you do? Thank you, 7 people.
we pretty much randomly meandered around. There was a lot of dead air, and I want this podcast to be exciting, just like metal, just like rock, just like a good solo just gives me goosebumps. You know, I want something to be exciting. And so we chopped the show up into segments. The next segment is called Pod Topics.
Pod Topics. All right, you want to bring a couple to the table? I'll bring one to the table.
I will. I got a couple.
Yeah.
I like to watch TV.
Okay.
I like to watch interesting documentaries, especially. There is a documentary going across America right now called Love Has Won. Okay. And
Okay.
and if anybody of you watch it already, you know that bitch is fucking crazy. Okay, flat out, she's fucking nuts.
Out of her mind.
She created a cult and channels multiple people through her. One being Robin Williams, another being Elvis. One of them, Donald Trump, even though he's still alive, didn't understand that. Convinces a bunch of people to love her and follow her to Colorado and Oregon and all this stuff. The problem is her cultists believe that she's carrying the pain of the world. And that's why she has to drink so much alcohol and smoke weed all day. Both of which I love dearly, don't get me wrong.
I think I have her problem.
But
That's what's happening.
But you seen these clips and she's just screaming at one of her cult members like, "Give me the fucking chicken parmesan!" Like just being belligerently shit-faced. And she convinced her cultists that it was a symptom of carrying the pain of the world. Which is crazy because I still feel pain even though she did that for us.
Right.
Right. They started pushing these weird hippy-dippy products like crystals and like love boxes and selling them on Amazon, and they would sell them for numbers that were important. Like one of them was like $666.66, and it's pretty much a box of bullshit that they would buy off Amazon with money that her constituency would give her through pretty much like a PayPal or like what's that one website that you could, not Kickstarter, Patreon. They had a Patreon. What was the one where it's like my brother has cancer and he needs money for
the GoFundMe.
Yeah, GoFundMe. That was it. So they used GoFundMes to fucking convince people. So they're selling all this hippy dippy like cure-all, and one of the cure-alls is colloidal silver that they made on the oven.
Good Lord.
On an oven. So what they would do is fucking melt silver off of shit down into a pot, and they figured out a way to suspend the silver particles in this liquid.
Okay.
Right? So these people are drinking pretty much silver sand in a jar. And
something that we should all be doing.
Yeah. Absolutely. So they start drinking this shit, and because metals do not come out of your body easily, like when you get mercury poisoning or lead poisoning, it's very difficult for your body to process out a lot of metals. Like if you eat too many sardines, you get high levels of mercury. I'm not a doctor, don't listen to me, but don't drink a lot of metal.
Just a reminder, this is a metal podcast.
Yeah. You can listen to it all you want, but
don't drink it.
Maybe don't drink it because it fucking turns you blue. Okay? It turned her fucking blue.
Oh, good Lord.
So her liver's failing. She's unable to walk anymore. And at this point, I mean, like, she is physically blue. Like, terrifyingly blue. And she dies blue. I don't know if she was sad upon her death, but she didn't look too happy. It didn't look great,
There's all that world pain.
And then Father God slept with her for 2 weeks with her corpse.
Jesus.
And that's something I don't want to believe in. Do you have a topic?
Yeah. Let me go ahead and just
maybe one a little brighter.
Okay. We can just go to one of my random topics. This is like a super short topic, right? Okay. So apparently, there's a company out there right now that's trying to make they're trying to grow leather. Okay? So they're trying to grow leather that's usable for literally everything, like your wallet, phone cases, anything
growing
like that.
Cows?
Yeah, they're using mushrooms. And apparently it's pretty decent stuff.
Mushroom leather?
Yeah. Yeah, so they use like the fibers in the mushrooms, right? They grow it on whatever shape, whatever size, whatever anything. Like it's super sustainable, very high dollar right now.
I feel like I could think of I could definitely think of a better way to use mushrooms, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, I know, I agree.
Cows grow by themselves.
Yeah, I don't know, man. But they are able to make, like, if this turned into like a big scale thing, it'd be interesting, right? Like,
yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying that leather's a bad thing, because first of all, I like real leather. Like, it's super sick stuff. Like, I have a lot of
Yeah,
leather
it's tough.
stuff.
It smells good.
Yeah.
It protects you from fucking welding shrapnel.
I don't know what leather mushroom would smell like, or the structural
Portobello,
integrity
probably.
is. Yeah, right. Smell like dinner.
Smells like a Swiss melt.
Yeah, but I don't know, man. Yeah, like I guess the fibers are just really decent for this. I was watching a dude. He made like a soccer ball out of the leather, and it was like ridiculously high strength.
I mean, if it's
Interesting.
better, I'm down.
Yeah, right. Like,
I don't
just
know if
something cool.
mushrooms
Yeah.
burn. I've burned them.
I don't know.
Cooking.
I do not know.
But
I don't know.
I've
I
also
don't know
burned
what
a steak
the I don't know
before,
what the
so-
applications are, but that's just one of the random things that I happened upon. I don't know. Be interested to see where that goes.
Speaking of cooking, my next topic:
Yeah.
Why is breakfast the best? Why is it such a treat to have it for dinner?
Because it fucking is, and if anybody disagrees, get out.
Breakfast. General consensus. Breakfast is the bee's tits.
Yeah.
Next subject. You have one?
You want one more?
Yeah, one more,
Okay.
real quick.
All right. So, I'm a big Simpsons fan, right? Like, big enough, right? Like, I like the conspiracy theory stuff, so Simpsons
Yeah,
is
dude.
super sick, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Those guys are weird. I love their music.
Okay. Californication.
Okay.
Have you actually listened to the lyrics of this song?
No, I never understand any of their fucking
Okay.
lyrics, dude.
Well, their lyrics freak me out. Okay, hang on. I'm gonna Google the lyrics right now so I don't mess any of it up.
Is it like Egyptian or something? Something to do with the pyramids, probably.
Way worse.
I tried to watch Fieldy's.
Wait.
I tried to watch Fieldy's episode on Hot
Okay.
Ones. I just couldn't do it.
Do you know when Californication came out?
No.
Go ahead and Google the date on that for me while I got these lyrics pulled up, okay? And just listen. Literally, line 1. Psychic spies from China try to steal your mind's elation, okay? Little girls from Sweden dream of silver screen quotation. And if you want these kind of dreams, it's Californication.
It came out in 1999.
Came out in 99. When was that stupid little girl born?
What little girl?
That little Swedish girl that talks all kinds of shit about being liberal and all that.
Oh, you're talking about the one that
What is her name, dude?
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah,
She has a real problem with jets.
real problem.
That she flies everywhere talking
Okay.
about how bad she hates jets.
It's the edge of the world and all of Western civilization. The sun may rise in the east, at least it's settled in a final location. It's understood that Hollywood sells Californication. The song, as it goes, pay your surgeon very well to break the spell of aging. So we have people like Dolly Parton. We have people like Bruce Jenner.
Look at fucking Reba McEntire, dude.
Reba?
She hasn't changed a day. But
Okay.
what about Magic Johnson? I love that South Park
What about my
episode.
dick? Let's see. Hang on. Space may be the final frontier, but it's made in a Hollywood basement.
That's LSD.
Okay,
Yeah, they used to make LSD.
that's LSD or space may be the final frontier. They're talking about like fake moon landing stuff.
Possibly.
Okay. In Cobain, can you hear the spheres singing songs off station to station? And Alderon's not far away. It's Californication. Dude, they're like predicting weird little things. I don't know, man. The song lyrics are very strange to read. Like it doesn't really make sense at the time when it came out, but as it comes or as it ages, it's almost like a Simpsons thing where I'm not saying Red Hot Chili Peppers are reading the future. That is not what I'm saying.
If someone told me that, I'd be like, possibly.
Sure. But the song lyrics are weird, man. Like things that they're saying here, just look up the song yourself, the lyrics itself, right? And look at it with an open mind and think about things that
You
are
mean get
happening
really high and
today.
read them and see if they make you
Yeah,
nervous?
yeah, do that. Actually, do that. We'll get back to you in maybe the next couple episodes and talk about his experience.
Book, earmark that. We'll come back to it.
Yeah.
Next segment, we call this one "What's Up" or "What's Offer Up." We haven't determined what we're actually going to call it. What we wanted to do was pick a random city in the United States.
We're each gonna pick one.
We're going to go on offer up. And we're going to talk about some deals that anybody with a decent job and some motivation can get a guitar and can do this.
Look, it seems like guitar is like an unreachable thing, right? Like you look at the people on stage, or electric guitars, or big badass amps,
They're
like
all
cool
$2,000
shit,
and all this stuff.
ridiculous amounts of money,
You don't
right?
have
So
to.
whether you're young, old, it doesn't matter. If you just want to get in and start learning something, literally anybody can learn this. I've never touched a guitar until literally a week before the last episode.
Yeah.
You know?
Mm-hmm. And how much have you spent so far cumulatively on your gear?
The guitar was $30. That was a ridiculous deal.
Done.
Okay, and then I decided, okay, I do have a job. I do make money.
Yeah.
I decided I wanted a nicer amp. I bought that Fender Mustang 25 amp.
Mm-hmm.
What was that? $160 or so.
I mean, that's within reach.
That's within reach,
That's
right?
well within reach.
Yeah.
Speaking of within reach, for those of you in the Norfolk area, Norfolk, Virginia specifically, I have found here a LTD in the, I guess what would you call that? The Les Paul. An LTD in the Les Paul. Dual humbuckers, all black, 6-string. Really nice. Comes with a little Fender 15G amp for a whopping $250.
Ooh.
$250, you can get a guitar and an amp, and as long as you have access to a wall outlet, you can play. And will it sound perfect? No, neither do we. We're far from it. Anybody can do this shit. Literally fucking anybody with a couple $100 and some motivation. What do you got?
So, this is in Boise, Idaho. Okay. Kid has a couple Stratocasters,
Okay.
no strings. Okay. Stratocasters, no strings, and then a cheap ass little Squier amp. $80.
That was my first setup.
Okay.
That was my first setup, was a Squier Strat. That's actually what I'm playing right now, is a Squier Strat. It's highly modified
That's what
now.
I'm playing.
It's such a great beginner guitar. It's easy to play.
So
it's
easy.
cheap. It's so within reach.
Man, if you try and customize it and fuck something up, is it really that hard to find parts to repair what you messed up?
No, not with those deals.
Yeah.
$80 for 2 guitars and an amp.
Two
please.
guitars and an amp.
So if you're in Boise, go hit that.
Yeah, absolutely.
I got one right here that I would go look at if I was in. I'm still in Norfolk, Virginia here. It's not where I live. None of these places are where we live. We're not going to tell you. Fuck you. I have an Epiphone Les Paul, right? I have an Epiphone, personally. I love it. It's also heavily modified. I got some Zach Wild pickups in there. Maybe I'll bring it on the pod one day when we're playing some heavier shit, because I keep it in D standard or lower because of the strings I put on there. Sounds great. This one specifically I'm talking about, Norfolk, Virginia, goes for $125. It's an Epiphone special, white body, red fretboard, black neck. Looks great. I mean, you just can't beat it. Dual humbuckers, simple, sweet. It looks like they either took a picture of it with the front-facing camera on their phone, because it is.
Doesn't look like it. Let's see the picture.
It's strung backwards. To me, that's backwards.
Yeah, that's absolutely backwards.
Well, maybe Jimi Hendrix had it at one time. Probably not, but you never know.
used to play with backwards strings.
It comes with an amp. Wait, isn't that the fucking amp that you had?
No.
No?
Wait, no. Mine was cheaper.
It looks shitty, but it'll play, and you can play too, just like us. It comes with a tuner that you clip on your headstock. I mean, you just get $125. That's a guitar I would purchase.
Honestly.
That's a guitar I would purchase. It looks beautiful.
Okay.
So if you're out there in Norfolk or Boise, you got one more?
I got one more. We'll change it up just a little bit. Bass guitars are sick too, first of all.
Ah, the
Neither of
boy.
us play bass, right?
Not
It's
well.
not a thing that we do. But in Nampa, Idaho, found a Davidson bass for $100 even, right? Like, you need low tones in music, right? Like, not everybody wants to play the electric cool solos or nothing. Like, the sick bass drops are just, they're kind of unbeatable, right?
Well, if you ever
$100
heard
to
of
get
the
into
band
bass.
named Tool,
Yeah.
I mean, the bass supports that band, and I personally, though I do respect the 8-string players, and I do like the sounds that they make.
I think
It
two
really
guitars
leaves.
sounds better than one.
It
Honestly.
really leaves a gap, in my opinion,
Yeah.
because I like hearing like the really high tones from like an electric solo, fully supported with a solid like thumping bass line that really carries the song. I really just think it sounds great.
I agree.
So if you want to play bass, $100, you got it. You can do it.
Easy. That took us literally 5 minutes, 10 minutes to
Yeah.
just slightly look through offer up. Like you can look anywhere, right?
If you're thinking about it, do it.
Yeah,
It's
just do it.
worth it. I can't tell you how much joy this hobby has brought me. I've been playing since I was 7, I think.
I've been playing since I was old, so.
Yeah. Yeah, you've been playing for a couple weeks now.
Yeah.
Still, I mean, it just feels good to play.
Yeah.
Closing thoughts?
Yeah. Closing thoughts. I really have work to do on just general finger movement, right? Like understanding where my pick is in relation to the strings and, getting that down, getting like picking patterns down, like just in general. And being able to move my fingers fast enough. So like making transitions as effortlessly as possible, right? Like between chords.
Yeah.
It's like a big deal. It's hard to learn. I'm trying to work on it, and I feel like I'm moving kind of fast through all this, because we literally picked a guitar up. You're like, this is what it sounds like. And I was like, that sounds sick. Let me touch it. And then immediately into Civil War. Like,
yeah, it's a big ass. It's pretty tough.
Yeah, no, it's cool, but because it keeps me interested, because like I hear you play these sick solos, and then I get to support you a little bit. That keeps me really interested,
Well, you get this thing, and I've said it before, off-air practicing and stuff, where I'm just like, we fucking had it right there. We fucking had it. And I don't know what it is, but when everybody's in line, there's this feeling that you get that is just ultra motivational. It just feels like you're at a rock concert, but better. It feels like you're just watching a crazy solo, even if it's like the most simple thing. When you're all in rhythm and all in tune, and you're playing a song that you like, and you start feeling it, like it just feels fucking good, dude.
Yeah, no, I agree. Listen, I got a little baby at home, and I hooked this amp up to practice at the house.
Yeah.
And I'll turn it to just the most metal setting I can turn it to and drop D.
Yeah. Wop, wop.
Yeah, and I'll just throw out some power chords and a nice little rhythm, and the baby will look at me and he'll be all excited, and that makes me excited, but it's just having the rhythm. Like, dude, I'm not playing anything fancy, anything good, but it's just the noise, it makes me feel good.
There's something there. It's inside all of us, and it's inside you guys.
And I'll make one suggestion before we finish our little closing thoughts here.
Mm-hmm.
I think if you don't currently play guitar and you want to get into it, I think that it would be a good suggestion to try and drag your friend to the depths with you. Try and find a friend, drag him into the depths of learning guitar with you. Progressing with somebody is super cool. I honestly would have thrown this guitar smooth out of the truck window driving down the highway if it wasn't just to have a buddy to sit and play with,
It definitely helps, and it's almost like going to the gym. It really does keep you accountable with your practicing.
Keep you motivated, yeah.
There's no faking if you know how to play, you don't. Like if someone knows how to play guitar and they're watching you, and they can tell if you've been practicing or not. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's just super apparent.
I haven't been practicing very much.
I practice a little bit here and there.
Yeah,
I try to pick it up every day, but with work.
Dude, it's hard to do.
Good God.
Anyway.
Closing. Feel free to tell us you fucking hate our episodes. guitarpractice69@gmail.com. Hit us up. Or keep your opinions to yourself.
Yeah,
we don't give a fuck.
We don't really care that much. I mean, we're just going to keep doing this, so it's fun.
We're out.